Have you ever faced a tough challenge in your life and then finally you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel? Well, that's step 9 of the hero's journey, the reward. It's when you start to look back at everything you've overcome, the teachable moments that you've encountered, and the strength you've gained from that season. Today, we're going to talk about overcoming the obstacles and starting to see the transformation in your life from all you've gone through. So let's dive in. I'm Sherry from SherryLouMiller.com, and we are 3/4 of the way through the hero's journey, step 9. So as you know from some of the earlier videos, step 1 through 8, up until this point, 2024 and part of 2023 were teachable seasons in my life. You saw that I faced financial uncertainty because of the lack of revenue in my businesses. I had to drive Amazon Flex, take on a couple of independent contractor jobs, as well as I was questioning the future of my business. But because of my commitment to my dream to become and remain a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, I just trusted the process. I just kept moving forward every day, doing something small every day to stay committed to my dream. And slowly but surely, things start to fall in line. So at the end of 2024, 2025, I got clarity on my business, my business plan, my business strategy, started to see an increase in sales in my shop. So things are starting to shift. I'm starting to move through the uncertainty of what my future is going to hold. I'm releasing the fears, the doubts, and I realized that I don't have to have everything figured out. I just have to keep moving forward. I just have to keep doing something every day to remain committed to my dream. I have to appreciate and be grateful for the small wins. And as I started to do that, I started to see the growth. I started to appreciate the journey that I was on instead of trying to just fast forward to a destination. And because of all this, which was really a major mind shift for me, or a major shift in my mindset, I started to realize I am on the right path. It may not be happening in the time frame that I would like it to happen in, but I can start to see it unfolding in front of me. It's definitely a little slower than I want, but some growth instead of just standing still for me was definitely a good sign. And it was one of the teachable moments that I have, that I had to learn to trust the process and enjoy the process because it's a journey, and stop just focusing solely on the destination of where I thought I wanted to be on the time frame that I thought I wanted to get there. So that's when the reward, step 9 of the hero's journey, came into play. I started to realize it wasn't so much about my finances, the growth of revenue or profits in my business. It was more about my journey of self-discovery, me becoming aligned with the true purpose of my business and what was it that I really wanted. Because I always knew, as I've mentioned repeatedly, that selling gifts and printables was not the end game. So through this journey, I became more aligned with what is it that I want? What will light me up in my business and in my life? And as I began to ask myself those questions, I became much more confident in the choices that I was making. And it started to become clear that everything isn't about the money, which I have always known, but in life and in business, you are in business to make money. You need profits. You need income. So although the end game, now let me rephrase that. Although you shouldn't be driven by the financial metrics, they are a key component of life and business. But during this season of my life, I had to kind of step away from the financial aspect of it and look more at What is it that I wanted to provide to the business? Who did I want to come into my community based on my self-discovery journey and me sharing my story? Those people, they would automatically be attracted. They would automatically gravitate towards me. I wouldn't have to seek them out through what I'm talking about and what I'm sharing and the value that I'm providing. They will organically come into my community. And together we can start what? Oh, yes, sharing stories. Because the message I have probably preached for years on this channel is I believe by sharing your journey, sharing your story, you can touch or change someone else's life. So through this step, the reward, I started to see the transformation. I started to see the change in myself, which was my inner growth, and recognizing as I continue to grow personally, that will automatically, organically affect the business. And to stop putting so much pressure on myself to do certain things within the business, to just do what I was going to do, create the products, promote the products, market the products, come on YouTube, and share my story, share the journey, hoping that my story will impact someone else's life. And as the community grows, you share your story, and together we can change lives one story at a time. That was the original purpose of me doing the hero's journey, because at each step, each of the 12 steps, you're going through something different, but coming out on the other side better than when you went into it, or healthier, more enlightened than when you started the journey. So now in this step, I'm starting to realize that everything prior to this was necessary. We don't always understand why we're going through something, but we have to trust that we've been put on that path for a reason. So instead of asking why me, especially when you're going through something really challenging, just sit down and reflect, and don't ask why me. Just look at what can I learn from this season, especially if you're in something that's challenging or a struggle. Because if you just gone through all the other steps, you have gone through some season that is challenging you. So it's time to reflect and ask, what can I learn from this? The realization that that was necessary for you to become you. You are made up of all the seasons in your life, all your past choices. They have gotten you here. So if you're at a point that you don't like in your journey, then you realize that you need to do something different. So for me right now, at the reward stage, I realized it was just a season of personal growth, of self-discovery. And it's given me a new perspective. As I stated, I've gone through a shift in my mindset. And this shift at this point in my life will allow me to move forward with more confidence, to be more intentional, to definitely practice the micro principles more consistently than I had been. Mindset, intention, choices, action, and habits as I go through this journey. And there may be changes, because there already been plenty of changes. Yes, the overall business is a journal business, but my flagship product, it keeps evolving, because the reason it's evolving and changing is because I'm not 100% committed to the framework, but the framework got me started, and I'm just continuously building it out. Without the personal growth or the season that I just had gone through, I wouldn't be able to add that value to that product. So when we're going through this journey, we have to remember that the reward may not be this big flashy thing that just knocks you over your head and you have this epiphany, like, it could be like me, just the inner transformation for me to see that what I was doing was not aligned with my true self. So that's why I was in a season of challenges, struggles, whatever label you want to put on it, because I was out of alignment. And so it wasn't this big aha moment. There were just small aha moments along the way that contributed to my overall inner transformation and has now put me on a different path that, based on how I feel now and the things that I'm attracting now, lets me know that I'm now in alignment and I am on the right path. I am on a journey that lights me up. So before we move into the journaling prompts today, I just want to say, maybe you haven't reached your reward yet. You're still going through it, but know that it's coming and just trust in the process. It will probably show up more than likely when you least expect it, and maybe not in a way that you expected. But when you reach the reward phase, everything that you've gone through will be worth it. And you will have more clarity about how you should move forward. So let's get started with today's prompts. What small wins have I experienced recently that remind me I'm on the right path? What has the journey taught me so far that I didn't expect? How can I celebrate the progress I've made, even if the big goals haven't been fully achieved yet? What strengths have I discovered in myself during my journey? How do I feel about the changes I've made so far, and how can I use them to keep moving forward? So if you found value, give the video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post step 10 of the hero's journey. Subscribe to the channel and be sure to share it with anyone that you know who's going through their own journey or in a different season of their life and they're just trying to push through. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.